Well, hello there. How are you? Before I get started, I just wanted to let you know that I understand what you're saying, and what you're saying is totally valid, and I get it. I get it. And when I offer my opinion, it's just that. It's just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert, and I'm not saying I'm right. Your way of thinking could be totally the way we should go with this. But the way I see it, and this is just the way I see it, and don't be offended, because, like I said, I'm not saying that I'm correct when it comes to this issue. You might very well be correct. I just want to let you know that I appreciate your input on this whole deal, and I'm going to take your input into account when the final decision comes down. And I hope you'll listen to what I'm saying and maybe understand where I'm coming from. All right? So before we get started, let me just... Hello there, old man Kelley here. Jeff to my friends, how y'all doing out there? I was at I work for a company, a medium-sized company. We make educational toys, and I do a lot of video and graphics work, that type of thing. And I went to a meeting the other day about, well, I don't want to get into company business, but it was a meeting of maybe a dozen people with both marketing, the web team, and the design team all together in a conference room. And I was just there for one little part of it. So most of the meeting I was just sitting in this chair watching everybody else. And I was trying to keep from not laughing too much, because they were talking about something new, and everybody's, before offering their opinion, had to begin with this what do you call it, passive aggressive way of saying, letting everybody know to not be offended. What I did at the beginning was the start of everybody's conversation, and I swear to God, if you would cut out all that BS from a meeting, the meeting would be a third of its time. Most of the meeting's taken up with everybody being so afraid of offending everybody else, and it's, believe me, you can say, well, that's the world we live, but you have to. Everybody's worried about their place in the company, and you have to, I can just say, you have to tread lightly when you talk to people. Too many meetings, I've seen people get the wrong opinion about other people or their opinions, or get mad. It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in. But I find it amusing, and I'm going to move on from that. Let's talk Simpsons. There's a cable channel. I don't know if you've ever seen it, you in America. I don't know if it's worldwide or just in America, but it's called FFX or FX. There's two. There's FX and FXX, and they're like brother and sister channels or something, and I don't know. But one of the two, they show all evening long just old Simpsons episodes, like 5 days a week or 4 days a week, I forget. They have a schedule. It's certain days of the week, it's just all Simpsons. And because I'm working on the computer a lot, I'd like to put on just Simpsons episodes, because I don't want to put anything on the TV. I like to have the TV on, but I don't want to put anything on the TV that causes me to have to concentrate. The Simpsons are nice because I've seen every episode about 1,000 times, so I can just work and laugh once in a while. Or if a part I really like comes on, I can stop for a moment, watch that part, laugh, and then move on. And it's okay. I'm weird though. So, but I was watching one, and I don't know if you guys were Simpsons fans or not, but there was an episode I liked from early on. It starred Danny DeVito as Homer's half-brother, right? And they look sort of alike, but Danny DeVito's character has hair and is thinner. Homer's fat, bald, whatever. But they're basically you could tell they're supposed to be brothers. And in the episode, Danny DeVito plays Herb. And Herb has his own car manufacturing company. He owns his own car manufacturing company. I don't know in the real world if that's even possible. But so he meets Homer. They've never met before. They didn't even know that each other existed. They found out. They meet. He takes Homer to his big mansion and this big factory where they make all the cars. And Herb puts Homer in charge of building a new car because he wants the everyman car. And he puts Homer totally in charge, and Herb goes off with Homer's family to enjoy Marge and the kids. Now the thing is, Herb doesn't pay any attention to Homer and what he's doing. The designers, the actual workers at the company, call Herb up and try to explain, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's ruining everything. And Herb doesn't want to hear it. He's like, just do whatever Homer wants because I want a car for the common man. And it's really weird. And so, I'm getting somewhere with this. It angers me. So what happens is, when the car's finished, for some reason Herb doesn't even see the car till it's at a car show, and they unveil it. Here's the Homer, and a curtain comes up, and it's this horrendous, ugly-looking car. Yeah, there it is. And Herb finds out the price. It's really expensive, and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm ruined!" And they cut to a little later on, and some Japanese companies bought the car manufacturing company. And Herb has lost everything. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because it angers me. You know why? Because in this show and in a sort of sequel show that comes later on, Herb totally blames Homer for his downfall. He hits Homer. And he says, "You made me lose everything." And I'm like, "No, Herb, that was you! You made Homer lose everything. Look, if I put a 3-year-old in charge of my finances, then I go to jail for tax fraud, whose fault is that? Not the 3-year-old's. He should have never been in charge of my finances. It's my fault. Herb, you didn't pay attention at all to what Homer was doing, and your own people tried to tell you this was happening, and you failed to listen. Herb, you are to blame for your own downfall. Stop blaming Homer." No, honey, I get it. No, I get it. It was just a TV show. I know, a silly cartoon, and I'm taking it way too... I get it. I'm taking it way too seriously. It's not the point. It's not the point. It was just a cartoon. It was the fact it sends a bad message. That's what I'm... I know, it's just meant to be funny. I'm on the phone with my wife here. We're talking about my last bit. Last week, I went on a nature walk. Let's view that, and we'll get back to me in a minute. Yes, honey, I get it. So I haven't done this for a while, just gone for a walk in the woods. It's been quite a while. I used to do this all the time. Used to get up early in the morning, sometimes just as the sun was coming up. Head out to this. This is called the Des Plaines River Trail. It stretches across the county, all the way from Wisconsin to Cook County. Don't remember how many miles it is. But I would come out here and just go for a long walk. Sometimes, 8, 9, 10 miles in the morning. See what nature I could see. But then I started doing some video projects, my podcast and everything, and got to the point where it was hard to find the time to do this kind of thing. So I intended to walk a little farther down this path, but as you can see behind me, there seems to be a river right in the middle of the path. Guess I'm turning around and heading back the way I came. Well, I've gone the other direction, and it seems that, well, it's gotten worse going this way, so I think I'm heading back to the car, and I think that's the end of my walk for today. It's a shame. It's overcast. It's about 40 degrees, so it's not really all that cold. It's a good temperature for walking like this. And besides that cardinal and a hawk that was pretty far away, I didn't see much wildlife today. We'll try again in a couple weeks, see what happens, all right? Now, back to our show. You know, it would probably be smart of me to read these signs before I walk in the woods. Well, this is a beer that I made myself, bottled, whatever. I'm going to try one right now. It's been in the bottle for about 2.5 weeks, so it's a little early to be trying it, but what the heck. I make this beer for a poker game, a once-a-year poker game at my brother's house, and I always have a new beer to have people try out. And I'm using my Cubs World Series Championship glass that I got. Now, the secret to a home brew is you pour it slowly in the glass and you try to leave about 1/4 of an inch in the bottom. A little bit in the bottom. You do that because it's naturally fermented and there's sediment that sits down. The dead yeast falls to the bottom. See, I actually know a guy who will drink that, not me. So this is the color. It's a darkish beer. It's not too clear. I've made clear. This is a recipe that I found online, and I didn't have time to really research too much like I usually do. I just found this one. It looked okay. Went out, local brew store, slapped on the ingredients. Said, "Can you hook me up with all these?" They gave me the ingredients. Came home, spent about 3 hours brewing it. Maybe another 1.5 hours bottling it. Bottling takes the longest time when you home brew. I think I'm going to a keg system. Because when you bottle, you've got to, clean every bottle. It's 50 bottles. You got to clean them and scrub them and sanitize them and all that good stuff. So, cheers. Pretty tasty. Yeah, it's coming along good. It's got a lot of flavor to it. And that puts some people off. Some people who like, your clear lagers, that watery stuff most people drink. Personally, I'm an IPA guy. I like stuff with some body as well. And this is sort of a combination. It's an IPA, but it's also got a lot of body to it. What I did was I steeped grains in the water first, got all that grainy flavorness in the water. Then I used that water to brew the beer to give it this extra punch. Me like. Well, thanks for joining me in my vlog this week. I got a little silly. It was a little long, but no one watches anyway, so what's the difference? I'll be back soon with something else odd. Go Cubs.